everyone, Mookie here, and today we're going to be reviewing the Osight, brought to you by Olight. You might be familiar with them from their explosive lights.
You wanna fuck around with an Olight? Go ahead!
So, jokes aside, the Olight is not going to explode on you if you use the proper batteries, and this has a built-in battery, so I don't think it's going to explode on you. Also, full disclaimer, we were provided this sight by Osight themselves. However, this video is not sponsored. We were not paid for our opinions or anything like that. We do plan to abuse it a little bit. So it should be noted that this particular sight is designed for more slim handguns, such as the Glock 43 and the B&T Mark II. However, we have this on a Glock 17 in a B&T chassis, as we are intending to beat the hell out of it today, and I don't want to risk destroying my B&T Mark II. This particular model is the Osight S, which is an RMSC footprint sight. However, for this test, I have adapted it to fit the acro mount on my B&T USC chassis. There aren't too many affordable RMSC footprint optics out there, so I am curious how well this one will hold up. It has some pretty cool features like wireless charging, and you can switch between a 2 MOA dot, a 32 MOA reticle, or both. So we're gonna go ahead and get this sighted in and see how accurate it is. And then after we're done with that, we're gonna beat the hell out of it and then see if it holds its zero. So we got it sighted in with 5 rounds, which I'm pretty happy about. Now let's see how accurate it is rapidly shooting 16 rounds onto the target. Other than one flyer, we got a really nice initial grouping on our target. So I know a lot of people like to rack their slides with the sight, but this one's fixed. So I guess let's see what happens if you bang it against the side of an APC. Okay, now we're like scratching the paint on this. Let's hit it the other way just for good measure. So we gave it a good few whacks and we've dinged it up a bit. The front got really aesthetically messed up. So let's go see if it holds zero. Five-round grouping, and it looks like our point of impact has shifted a little to the right. Let's move on to the drop test. Oops. Oh no, oh no. Oh, sorry guys, I'm so clumsy. Oh, I'm cringing at myself. Oh no! There was a bit of dirt and leaves hampering that fall, so we're gonna give it another good fall, just for good measure. So, despite all of that, the optic is still turned on. So, after the initial banging it against the APC, it started shooting a little bit towards the right, but it's pretty much unchanged after dropping it from on top of the APC, so... And now we're gonna throw this into a pond. Oops! And it looks like it's still running. And it charges. Finally, let's do one last 16-round magazine dump and see if it holds zero. So while we did notice a slight shift in Zero after some hardcore banging around, the optic itself stays on target and retains Zero with normal use, and it doesn't randomly shift. The glass held up without shattering, and the sight housing proved to be pretty durable. Well, I'd say it survived our abuse. For the price, between $130 to $200 if you want the fancy spec'd out version, I'd say it's a pretty good deal for what it is. When you start collecting more firearms, you don't always want to end up spending as much as the firearm itself. You're not going to always want to spend like $600 on a fancy EOTech or Trijicon, and I'd say this is a pretty good alternative. If you're wanting something on a range toy that's not like your primary fighting rifle or anything, I'd say it's a pretty good option. It survived us dropping it off of APC and tossing it in the pond. It seemed to have straightened itself out after we tossed it in the water, and so that was the Osight by Olight. Thank you so much again to Olight for sending this out to us to test out. And if you enjoyed the video and found it informative, please go ahead and do all the like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And I will see you guys again next time. Sayonara! I hope all these jokes and abuse doesn't get us blacklisted from Olight in the future.